Hi students, welcome to Narayan PU College online classes. Today we shall have a discussion on applications of Gauss law. We have three applications. The first application, field due to an infinitely long straight uniformly charged wire. Second one is the same infinitely large thin sheet, and third one is sphere. These three applications we do expect in 5 marks. Each application 5 marks, each one, not all together. Clear? So field due to discrete charges we can find using formula E is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. But this is uniformly, the difference between this body and the point charge is in these conductors, not bodies, in these conductors charge will be distributed throughout the conductor. So in charge case it is a discrete point charge, so we can apply E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. In this charge distribution case, let us consider a thin wire. Clear? Charge given q, this will be, take it positive charge, uniformly distributed. Okay, and charge distributed. Suppose at a distance r, if you at a distance r, let us say this point is P. If you apply formula E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square, q is distributed. So here this small portion of charges field contribution is there at this point. So which portion of charge we need to consider in that formula? So that is a complication is there. So to avoid, so that formula is not helps. So to find out field due to this, or to find the field due to this conductor, we follow Gauss law. First, according to Gauss law, we need to construct a Gaussian surface. Clear? Like this, cylindrical Gaussian surface. Reason, the wire is in thin cylinder, so I constructed cylindrical shape. The radius of the cylinder is r, length is l, or length enclosed by the Gaussian surface of the wire is also l. Now, next case we need to find flux through this Gaussian surface. This is cylindrical surface and this is circular areas. The total we have three areas. One is a cylindrical surface area, top and bottom areas. So to find the small flux, we need to construct small areas. This you take it as a delta S1, and for this upper circle you take it as a delta S2, and this is delta S3. So small flux formula delta phi is equal to E into delta S cos theta. Now next we need to take E direction. For this wire, field act radially out, and here act like this field, here field act like this. Theta is the area vector, angle between area vector and field. Here delta S, area vector act in this direction, so this angle is 0. Here area vector act upwards, here theta is 90. Here area vector act downwards, 90. Area vector always acts perpendicular to the surface. Now the flux through this surface, first flux delta phi 1 is equal to E delta S1. What is the angle? What is the angle here? First case 0, cos 0 1. Second case, second flux, second area. Now E delta S2. What is the angle here? 90, cos 90 0. This value 0. Next third flux means this flux through this area, E delta S3. What is the angle here? 90, cos 90 0 0. So through these circular areas no flux is passing, only flux is passing through Gaussian surface. The flux passing through only Gaussian surface. So that flux delta phi. If we get total flux, we need to add these small areas. So summation delta phi 1 is equal to summation of E delta S1. So we have only one flux that is passing through Gaussian surface. So this I will take it as a phi. E constant summation of delta S1. If you add this Gaussian surface, all areas, small areas, you construct small areas and add, we will get a surface area of the cylinder. That is phi is equal to E into 2 pi Rn. Okay, this is a flux through the Gaussian surface. Now apply the Gauss statement, Gauss formula. So now this 2 pi R L is the surface area of the cylindrical surface area of the Gaussian surface. Cylindrical surface area. Now what is Gauss statement? Total flux through a surface is equal to total charge 1 by epsilon naught times of total charge enclosed by the surface. So Q is equal to, flux is equal to Q by epsilon naught phi. Here we have a phi, here we have a phi. Substitute Q by epsilon naught is equal to E 2 pi RL. Now we are calculating E, so make it E subject to. If you make it E subject to, what do you get? Q by epsilon naught 2 pi R L. Clear? So already I mentioned in the last class, linear charge density lambda is equal to Q by L. This Q is distributed throughout this OA. So linear charge density everywhere is same. So linear charge density formula lambda is equal to Q by L. Q is equal to lambda into L. This Q value substitute here. E is equal to 1 by, what is Q here? Lambda L epsilon naught 2 pi R L. LL cancel. Now E is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon naught lambda by R. If you want to express in vector form, you just add unit vector R cap. Clear? This is very important derivation. We do expect for 5 marks. So each application I will make it in one video. So this is for this video for this derivation. Remaining 2 you see in following videos. Clear? Another for sheet and one more is for sphere.